touch the grass, hug the tree. Dear Professor So-and-so, I hope this email finds you better than it found me. I'm gonna need y'all to stop like trying to restrict or minimize people's goals when they tell you about their goals and aspirations. You already look stupid doing that, because it's just like, why is you hating? like why is you hating? Like you obviously don't got no motion. You're motionless. You're motionless. And like, why would you even fix your mind? Even if you do think somebody's goals is weird, like, or if you think it's not, I guess, accessible or tangible for them, why would you vocalize that? Is that not embarrassing? Like, is it not embarrassing to say, oh my gosh, I don't have the belief system to do this thing? And I bring up this conversation because like recently I was talking to my mom about how my goals and aspirations are completely unrealistic technically to other people, and technically by society and the way that things run, my goals are unrealistic as hell. Should I like start like trying to come to reality? Like, is this going to be my come to Jesus moment? Because I thought when I was in college that maybe that would happen, but it's not happening. In fact, it's getting worse because I have access to even more resources, or not even just resources just because of the kind of institution I go to, but like I'm experiencing more things and seeing what else is possible and what's possible for other people, and then putting that in context for me. Like, if I wanted that thing, how would I want it to look? So yeah, I was just kind of thinking about that. And I was essentially telling her, I like ranted to her. I was like, hey, do you think I should like start like my come to Jesus moment? Should I just like, and she was like, no. And this entire video is me explaining why my mom said no. Why my mom said no to limiting your goals and aspirations to the constructs of society, even if it's unrealistic, even if it's technically not possible. Keep shooting higher. A lot of people have that same mindset as well, but they talk about it from a more spiritual place, you know, and some people don't like resonate with that, which is okay. Some people, like, for example, they'll be like, oh my gosh, like manifesting and da-da-da-da. I think that's great. I think manifestation is great. But a lot of other people will use the fact that it's not something that they can see or something that they can like touch or whatever, that it's not real and like this won't happen and this is just so I guess this video is for people like that. You know that TikTok that goes break the cycle or you risk like redoing it again, like break the pattern today and you redo it or you'll repeat the cycle? That's true. That's really like that's really true. Like, and logistically, I want you to think it's true. If you continuously do the same thing every day and go through the same routines and do nothing different, if you do not take any risks, yes, if you do not take any risks, nothing will change. Nothing is going to change. Absolutely nothing. Right? Nothing. So it really doesn't harm you that much to at least try something new. You could just start with a little thing a day. Now, when it comes to bigger goals and things that are like, for example, if you are a minority and you say want, I don't know, this position at your job, like you want to become a partner at your law firm in a predominantly white law firm. And you know that, and you know that statistically speaking, somebody will be chosen over you, but you go for it anyways. You bust your behind anyways. We know that we have to work 2 times, 4 times, 12 times harder than everybody else to get half of what they have, but you're gonna do it anyway. Have the audacity. Have the audacity to do it anyways. Okay? A lot of things that people are like kind of ruminating on when it comes to changing, like breaking the cycle, be so little. It'd be so simple. Literally, some people like, I want to make more friends. Walk outside. Go to the park. And obviously there's more steps to that, but You know, sometimes it takes a small step. Like those smaller steps are as easier than you think they are, right? So that's like one reason she should probably continue doing that my mom definitely mentioned. But also, it's just the fact that you cannot place anybody else's or society's expectations or like the way that society tends to run on yourself, because not only are you limiting yourself, but you are contributing to that same norm that you want to break out of so badly. You are contributing to that same norm that you want to break out of so badly. Yes, it may take extra work. Yes, it may be a little difficult. However, and yes, you may be risking something, but that's life. Okay? You're going to have to do it one way or another for something. So why not this? Why not this dream? Like, why not? And I guess I could debate a better way that I can explain it in a more efficient way to explain it is like the context of me. I always knew that I wanted to go to a higher education institution. Like, I knew that I wanted to go to college. I couldn't even envision a world where I didn't go to college. Like, that's not something I would think about, but even if I tried to think about it, it would go blank. There is no world where there is not a universe that I don't do that. However, I applied to 40 schools. Yeah. And of those 40 schools, I was not, like, literally in my state, my counselor was like, oh my gosh, you should apply for safety schools in your state. Like, you need to stay here. Like, oh my gosh, like, it's more realistic. I didn't give a damn at all. And I still applied to like safety schools like UF, because I'm from Florida. UF was my safety school. Now, before y'all get at me, this is before I knew about UF's acceptance rate, because I didn't know what kind of timing they was on before I put them as a safety school. It wasn't until after I got into UF until I realized how but I want you to like think about that. That was my mindset. Of course I would get to that school. Of course that's a safety school. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. You know, just having the damn audacity. Yeah, of course. So when I finally got into my school now, we had less than a 3% acceptance rate last year's admission cycle. No sweat. Of course I did that. Of course that happened, because I didn't envision anything outside of that. You know, so having the audacity to want it anyways. And, you know, and like, it doesn't harm you to continue wanting this thing either. Even if you don't continue going for it, like, I mean, yes, you may start building up some kind of resentment towards yourself to, I guess, do the thing, but that will probably make you do the thing more. Like, you would probably, like, that should tell you to go outside, go to the park, touch the grass, hug the tree. So, and what I'm trying to like say in summary is breaking the cycle of like what society's expectations are, and this is like the boundaries that we do have in society, and those restrictions that are forced upon us in society that we often reinforce. You can break the cycle, and that's okay. Even if you fail at that thing, or you don't get that thing at the time that you want it, you will probably get something else out of that experience anyways. Please just go for the thing. Apply to that job, go to that park, go ask that girl out. Like, literally, just do it. Now, and to me, these are relatively small things. And you're probably wondering, like, what? Yeah. Listen, I told my mother that I did not see myself working in a corporate job, especially in corporate America. That's not happening. No, because I can't. I can't because I don't like doing things I don't want to do. And it's physically impossible for me to do things I don't want to do. Like, it won't happen. But because I know that about myself, I don't want to do the corporate politics things, the whole, like, you know, nice, nasty, and having to, you know, beat around the bush in your emails. And per my last email, I don't do that. I don't even do that with my professors. One of my professors, I sent him an email and it said, "Dear Professor so-and-so, I hope this email finds you better than it found me." I'm not beating around the bush. We're getting straight to it. Obviously, I'm going to be respectful. However, you're gonna hear from me. So yeah, I know that environment's not for me. So I do not want to work a corporate job, and I will not work a corporate job ever, because I know that's not something I want. To some people that may be like, oh, well, it's a stepping stone and da-da-da-da-da, like you're going to have to, well, you're going to have to, you know, come back to reality. I'll be waiting then. It's just like, okay, whatever. Like, okay, like, why are you trying to poop on my parade? Like, why are you trying to pee in my cereal? Why are you putting urine in my cereal? Just because there's urine in your cereal. You know? And I know that those things are unrealistic, but who cares? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? So you can be aware of like the things around you, and you can be aware of around like the things that limit you from that thing. Because I know the 9 to 5 work schedule directly opposes what I want to do. I know that the standard 9 to 5 work schedule is not letting that happen. I know that there's no amount of unlimited PTO in the world that's letting that happen. But I don't care anyways. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyways. So I implore people to have audacity. And this is all having conversations with my mom. And my mom was telling me like, yeah, this is essentially what mom was saying. Like, you have never done things normal. Nothing about you has been normal. You've never gone about things the right way. And I was like, you know what? You're right. In fact, if everybody is agreeing with me on a decision, like unanimously, I know that I'm doing that shit completely incorrect. Like, I know I've got to course correct immediately, because if everybody's saying like this is the right way to do it, there's a problem. There's a problem. It's kind of like when you're on TikTok and you make a post and all the men are agreeing with you, and you're like, yeah, I gotta be tripping. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. So, so I don't want to. Don't be afraid to step out of like outside the norm, a norm that you so desperately want to step outside of anyways, because it's not like you don't want to. You want to, so why not do it?